Alrighty, we're going to add a outlet here for working on the electrical boxes, a trouble light for the furnace man to come and clean the furnace. Here in the country I was born in, we use 12 American wire gauge on 20 amps, 14 American wire gauge on 15 amps. Black is live, the white is neutral, the bare, the green is the ground. Red and blue is also live colors. However, you may find white live in a switch loop or a 220, 240 volt circuit where the appliance does not require a neutral, such as a water heater or an electric baseboard heater. So I'll show you how to put in a 120 volt outlet with a number 12 American wire gauge, and we'll be putting it on a 20 amp circuit. Okay, we'll put a Romex connector in the bottom of the box here like this. Let's push it up in there. This is the kind of snap-in. These are fairly new. So that way you don't have to use the ring and tap the rings tight. Stick our wire in here. Okay, I'm going to make sure I leave myself enough wire to go around to where I gotta go. Read the rights, read the charges, read the rights, read the rights, read the rights, read the rights. Okay, now we'll rip our Romex cable here and get our conductors out. Cut all your debris out. Okay, so we'll run our wires inside the box here. This is a main panel, so we can put our ground and our neutrals on the same bus bar. I have our main off so I don't accidentally touch these. So I'll push our ground wire down to the back like this, bring it over, make a bend where we're going to come up, and I will go in right here, make my bend right there. Okay, there's our ground wire hooked up. Okay, now we'll do the same with our white wire. We'll push it down to the back of the box like this. Bring it down, we'll bend it where it's going to come up here. We'll come up and we'll make our bend right here where we're going to go into the neutral bar. I'll clip right here, I'll strip right here. Make sure we don't get the insulation under the terminal there. Tighten it up, push it back. So there's our white wire. Now we'll put our 20 amp circuit breaker in. We'll put our breaker. Okay, our terminal is open. We'll set it in the box like this, and we'll just push it in like this. Okay, we'll do the same with our black wire. We'll push it back to the bottom here. Make a bend. We'll come up right along here. And we'll make our bend and we'll go into the circuit breaker right here. I made it just right. So we'll strip what we need to put our wire on the breaker. Okay, I'll tighten it with our square screwdriver. I like the square screwdriver because I don't chew my heads up on the flatheads. I always, with these type of screws, they have the square hole in the middle, and it ruins my Phillips screwdrivers and it ruins all my other flatheads. So I'm glad I finally got the square one. So that is how to put the wire into the panel box. Alright, so now we're ready to put our outlet on here. So we'll take our we'll open up our knockout. And we'll put these new Romex connectors have the little barbs on them, so you just push them in, you'll hear them snap. Hear it snap. I don't care how twisted up and tangled my keys are. I'm not going to get upset over them. I'm not going to frustrate. Okay, now we can screw our box onto the board here. I don't have a screw gun, but I have my hand screwdriver, so I just be thankful for that. I don't get frustrated. There's one screw. Make sure our box is sitting on there nice and straight. Put that one down there. Make sure it's good and tight there. Okay, so now we'll get our wire shaped back into here like this. Make a nice bend here. And we'll cut it up about right here. Okay, so Get all your paper out of there. If my tools don't go in, I just give them a shove, they go in. You don't get frustrated, you just force them in. And unfortunately, we do not have a green ground screw, so we'll just we'll take one of these off for a washer. So we will ground the box. It might not be the best, but you know what? If you don't have something, you don't have it. So you just praise God, you be thankful for what you have, and do the best you can. But I'd rather do this than not bond it to the box. But the outlet is also a self-grounding outlet, so it will bond to the box when I tighten the screws on the outlet too. Okay, so I'll bring our ground wire up, get it around that screw there, get under the washer. Close our loop. There we go. We have a nice bond to the box now. Now we'll hook our wires up to the outlet here. Okay, we'll strip with our number 12 hole. So, close the screws we're not using. So here in the country I was born, your white wire goes on the silver screw, which is the wider slot. Your black wire goes on the brass screw, which is the narrow slot. The bare wire or green wire will go on this ground screw. So we'll hook this outlet up. We'll put our black on the brass first. Make your loop the direction your screw turns. Put it around the screw. Close it the direction your screw turns. There it is. We got a nice solid connection. That's what we want. And we'll put our white on the silver colored screw, so we'll make our loop the direction our screw turns. You put it around the screw backwards, when you tighten the screw, it will open the loop rather than close the loop. So I'll make my loop just a little bigger so it goes around the screw better. Close our loop the direction our screw turns. Make sure it's nice and tight like that. And we'll put our ground on the green screw over here. Again, you put it around the screw the direction that the screw turns. Tighten it up like that. Now we can fold our wires into the box. Now I'm going to have to shorten this screw, because I'll show you why. When you screw in, it's going to hit the back of that Romex connector like that, and it'll just strip the hole out and you'll have no holding to the box. So I'm going to shorten this screw up. Okay, now I'm going to fold our wires into the box. So I'm going to keep our ground wire down here in the bottom, bring it up. I'm going to go back and forth with our black and white like this. I'm going to make sure nothing is pushing against something we don't want to touch. So when I screw this in, I'm going to look our ground wire is away from everything and nothing's going to be pinched. We're not pushing against any sharp edges. Tighten our screw up. I'll just make sure that screw's not hitting anything and that one is clearing everything. Alrighty, so that is how to add an outlet and wire a new branch circuit here in the country I was born in from a main panel. Let's push that back so it's nice and flat. Peace. Thanks for watching.